Let's have a look at some improper integrals. So in this question, they're asking us to evaluate the improper integral from 0 to infinity of the function e to the negative 3x with respect to x. So this is an improper integral because we notice that there is an infinity sign in one of the bounds of the integral. So this is an improper integral. So to calculate this, what we'll do is we'll remember what this actual definition means. So this integral, which is what they want us to calculate, is actually just short form for the limit as n goes to infinity of the definite integral from 0 to n e to the negative 3x dx. So here we've converted this improper integral into a definite integral going from 0 to some number n, and then after calculating this definite integral we'll let the limit as n goes to infinity and see what we get. So for now we're just going to leave this limit on the outside, and now we'll just focus on actually calculating this indefinite integral here. So to calculate an indefinite integral, we use the tools that we have from before. So we can do the anti-differentiation of this function right here, which is negative 1/3 e to the negative 3x. So that's the antiderivative of what's inside. And of course, because it's a definite integral, we're going to evaluate at 0 and n. Okay, so we've calculated that definite integral. We're still just going to have this n to infinity stuff. We're going to leave it on the outside, and now we're actually going to finish calculating what this definite integral is. So we're going to sub in the n. We have negative 1/3 e to the negative 3n minus what we get when we sub in 0, which is negative 1/3 e to the negative 3 times 0. And of course we can simplify that a little bit. This double negative here becomes a positive, so we can put that in the front. Instead, we'll write it as 1/3. Now, e to the power of negative 3 times 0 is e to the power of 0, which is just 1. So this becomes 1/3 minus 1/3 e to the negative 3n. And now we are free to take this limit. So we look at this and think about what happens as n goes to infinity. Well, this 1/3 has nothing to do with the n, so it just stays as 1/3. And if we look at this function here, the limit as e to the negative 3n as n goes to infinity, the exponent becomes very, very, very negative, which means this function is e to the power of some very negative number, which means that the result is a very small number. So as n goes to infinity, this term e to the negative 3n goes to 0. So what we're left with as an answer is 1/3.